So let's move on to game number 2 here, spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our pink Zerg. 1 game up against his opponent. He goes by the name of Millennium's Goswser. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner here as our red Terran. He goes by the name of LGIM's MVP.
You know, MVP has been doing a lot of mech play on this map. Really likes the Hellion Banshee opening here to apply pressure, to just go straight on in to that mech play. But there's sort of a weird question of how to defend the third. Recently, in the IronSquid tournament, MVP lost to Stefano, who just did a Roach Hydra bust at the third base because MVP just didn't quite have tanks up in time. So MVP or if Goswser watched that game and maybe watched a couple others, could again do this sort of funky analysis that he's known for and doing a perfect counter build. Thus far, already doing somewhat of an unusual choice, going for pool first.
Yeah, and actually going for a drone scout here. So trying to check exactly what's going on in his opponent's base very, very quickly. As we have the command center first. This drone first actually then could be quite a hindrance if he starts nibbling away at the SCV on that command center.
God, every Zerg player is looking at that going, yeah, that's what that feels like when you're trying to expand and there's a worker stopping you. Yeah, that's what that's like. So mad props to all the Zerg buddies out there who are feeling vindicated. Another interesting follow-up decision, we're seeing Goswser not get over-eager and build a bunch of Zerglings and try to deal damage. Instead, he's still going straight for queens, straight for drones, playing standard, just wants to get a good look at what's going on. And indeed, on this map, you can't really prevent a Zerg player from getting into your base when he drone scouts this early.
Yeah, it's very hard to. It's and with that, you know, Goswser claims all the vision he needs to. He sees the gas, he sees the barracks, he's under the impression that it's probably just going to be a Hellion opener again. And, you know, Goswser can now prepare pretty efficiently for any kind of eventuality off the back of that gas opener here from MVP. So we'll see how he wants to react.
At this point in time, we don't see any gas out of Goswser. I talked a little bit about the good old 4-queen defense, but when you go for pool first, generally you don't quite have the timing lineup to where you can go for 4 queens. You'll generally end up going for 3 queens. In that circumstance, we are seeing Goswser do something approximately like that, but I would generally expect a gas to go down pretty soon. And there's the double gas. Oh, the double cancel. So that way he can get 4 queens. Never mind, ignore everything I say, Caloris.
Well, actually, you know, I don't see the... Normally you see the double Vespene Geyser cancellation at either the very first Overlord or the second Overlord, but that was at like the 3rd or 4th Overlord. That was at the 4th Overlord. That was so impressive. It's small little things like that to just eke out that extra queen that are really, again, meticulous in his play.
And of course, thus far, that means that Goswser has lost a total of 12 resources of stuff, so not a big deal. Meanwhile, back in MVP's base, indeed, he did go for that 15 refinery and then get his command center. So that way we see the factory coming up fairly swiftly. Also following it up is no doubt the Star Port and a Roach Warren again from Goswser. Just a nice defensive play.
Yep, that's going to lend itself very, very nicely to what he saw at the very, very beginning of those gas geysers. And meanwhile, MVP not taking any chances. He's going to create a little bit of a wall off here, making sure his opponent can't get through. But, you know, Goswser's going for that creep spread once again. He already has 4 active tumors, and we'll try and get a few more in just a second. But he's taking double gas at both of the locations. And more.
Whoa!
Really...
Well, with the Roach Warren, generally, this is a speed Roach timing. That's a little problematic because that's based on the presumption that my opponent is going to be going for a 3rd base at exactly the time I want to attack him. You can't really do it in a reactionary way. You have to commit to it. Now, he could be going for Stefano style and be going straight for Roach Hydra. He could be building no roaches, which would just really surprise me, because why build the Roach Warren and then go for the layer? Probably going drop at this point to do some sort of just win with a drop play with roaches.
Vengeful Sax maybe into the main could be a pretty cool idea. I'm throwing down a Spore Crawler here to deal with the Banshee that is, or shall be looming very soon. And, right, Vengeful Sax is on the way here with Gleary Constitution as well. So Goswser going for what seems to be a very aggressive stance. And I wonder if he's going to make it work.
I mean, this is very all-in-y because he's at 48 drones. It's time to halt. It's time to just mass up on roaches and blast down the front door and crush his face.
Yep. And, ooh, wait a minute. This is interesting. We have a second factory on the way for MVP, so it looks like he wants to go for mech. But actually, will it even gather momentum by the time that this comes?
I mean, generally, you just don't see a Zerg player attack at 10 minutes, but that's seeming like exactly when Goswser is going to attack.
This is going to be pretty scary, actually, for MVP. He could just be completely caught off guard by this. I mean, admittedly, he has no intel whatsoever to tell him, yeah, this is exactly what my opponent is doing, definitely. He's going for drop with roaches, and it's going to hurt. It's going to sting.
Oh, God, and he's just now starting tank production. This is so similar to how MVP lost to, oh no, he's getting a Thor. This is so similar to how MVP ended up losing. Okay, no, he's getting a tank. Listen, let me tell you what he's known for doing. This is so similar to the Stefano MVP game from the group stage of the IronSquid 2, so... Speed for Overlord is done, and here comes Goswser just charging out.
Yeah. And I think that Viking might have just seen speed on the Overlord it killed off down to the bottom left-hand corner. The roaches are on the way. They're going to push forwards. +1 is going to finish up as well. This is very... He knew he was going to do this from the very beginning on this.
Oh, man.
Well.
Oh, man. Oh, no way. Goswser's really stepping forward. He has a lot of Overlords and roaches rallying forward. This is looking amazingly bad for MVP.
Really is. He was relying on that wall at the front as well as potential siege tech to actually deal with this. Nor was he even considering the fact that his opponent could get this aggressive this early. It's just not what they do, as you said before. And here comes that drop, Sean.
Complete.
Right into the main. There's absolutely no siege tanks anywhere. It's sieged up, and even Queen's being brought into the fray so we can begin spreading creep tumors in the main base. But the siege tanks get annihilated. Everything gets picked apart in seconds. Good game. Goswser is up 2-0 against MVP.
What?